People in India adore gold. Newlywed brides are given enough jewelry to break their necks. Peasants store their pitiful savings in trinkets. Wise guys sport rings like knuckle-dusters, and tycoons with broken balance sheets offer gold at temples in return for redemption. Even as economists and officials beg them not to, Indians splurge on the shiny metal. Nobody around the world more than the Indians understands that gold tends to store value and that in the end, gold is money. Gold is not just a luxury in India. Even poor people buy gold. When rural Indians have money in their pockets, they buy gold. Indians buy gold for a variety of reasons, such as for its auspicious sentiment, as an investment. Gold continues to command long-term value, a tag for being a safe haven, hedge against inflation, asset allocation, etc. Gold also carries a high perceived value and a high emotional quotient. It reinforces the closeness of relationships. Gold coins in smaller denominations are also considered apt for corporate gifting and rewards for contests or for commemorative giveaways. In 2019, India imported more gold than any other country, about 831 tons, or a fifth of global annual supply. That is the same amount that sits in the central bank vaults of Switzerland. Indian families are sitting on the world's biggest private stash of gold, and are rushing to borrow against their jewelry as the precious metal rallies to records, and the coronavirus pandemic fuels an economic downturn. Financial firms and banks are using that demand to lure more customers from pawnbrokers and money lenders. Collectively, Indian households own an estimated 25,000 tons of gold. World Gold Council estimates that Indian households are sitting on a $1.5 trillion hoard of gold, the biggest of its kind. Gold is the lifeblood of the Indian economy. Even now, it is serving as a valuable source of liquidity during the country's credit crunch. From its side, the board of the Reserve Bank of India (RBI) is considering significantly raising its gold reserves. The RBI is mulling upping its gold holdings from the current level of 6.5% of total reserves to 10%. As part of the move, the Indian Central Bank would also lower its holdings of U.S. Treasuries. Central banks globally have been increasing gold holdings over the last few years. Central bank demand came in at 650.3 tons of gold last year. That was the second highest level of annual purchases for 50 years. Welcome back to the Atlantis Report. You are here for your daily dose of the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Please take a second to smash that like button. And as you know, friends, I rely on your donations to keep this channel functional. As you know, it takes a crazy amount of research and time to bring you this content on a daily basis, so I hope you consider helping with whatever donation you can afford. Thank you. Gold is of serious importance in Indian marriages, and very important because people of all ages, whether from the girl side or the boy side, wear attractive gold ornaments. Wedding star. The bride has gold ornaments from her head, manjataka, to her feet, anklets. Gold is an auspicious precious metal which many believe in bringing wealth and prosperity along with the blessings of goddess Lakshmi. Also, if the bride, home Lakshmi, brings gold to her new home, the parents-in-law consider it a very lucky omen. Every region in the country has a unique culture and tradition, which is often reflected through their designs. Traditional jewelry from different parts of India is an integral portion of the lives of people in that region, being of great significance to them. It is this cultural uniqueness that has made Indian jewelry extremely desired across the world. It is often through jewelry that other people get to know about a particular culture and tradition. Thus, jewelry has helped enlighten thousands of people about a particular culture. Gold is considered a very good investment scheme and acts as a good asset for the family, young children, and at times can also be used as collateral for availing bank loans. India, as a nation, has got a history of pledging gold for educating children, performing a marriage, and fulfills one's immediate needs and/or unavoidable situations. Dual purposes. Possessing of gold serves dual needs for an Indian woman parent, especially if having a girl child, as the ornament can be worn by the mother as well as the girl and/or lady and/or women. Culture. Southern states such as Tamil Nadu and Kerala had a tradition of pure silk saris, and nevertheless, gold goes as a nice pair for such attire. Indian middle class, as they have the opinion that the resale value is a bit higher, is even higher if bought as a bullion bar as compared to artificial jewelry. Since India as a nation has got more middle-class households, the vast number of rural and semi-urban families buying approximately 5 grams per year increases the count and makes them the largest buyers by large. Gold is considered very auspicious among people in India. South Indians in particular prefer gifting gold to their daughters not only as a symbol of status but as an asset that comes to rescue during her tough times in life. They wish their loved ones on their special occasions with a golden touch as they believe it brings prosperity in their life. Indians think accumulating gold to be financial security. Many women save from 2,000 to 7,000 Indian rupees and buy gold even for such small amount as gold has appreciation value and it accumulates less space and has the strength to withstand any natural disaster like flood. Unlike cash which may be washed away, whereas gold can be worn and does not get affected if dipped in water in extreme cases like a flood. Gold, and silver to some degree, is the only real form of money there is. Everything else is just a form of currency. There's a big difference between the two. Gold is central banking's biggest enemy. The banksters, through manipulation of the COMEX, have been beating the crap out of gold since it reached its new high. Gold and silver taking off would be the death of the effectiveness of the printing press. It would poison that magic and vital tree that grows money. They have to protect that tree. Since 1970, gold is being discredited by the US because you cannot print gold, you have to mine it and shine it, while the paper is easy to print and wipe your butt with. Like the physical properties of the metal itself, gold's eternal stance as real money cannot be tarnished. Bury it in corrosive seawater for 1,000 years, and when you bring it back up, all you have to do is remove a few barnacles, and it gleams anew. It won't be hard to cleanse the smears which the usurers have tried to apply to the precious metal either. Gold scares the shit out of central banks just like holy water scares Dracula. Acquiring gold and silver is the only recourse people have if they think the shit is going to hit the fan, and the dollar will, at some point, crash, resulting in mega price inflation via fiat. The assumption and hope are that at some point, we will start over, and those who do have gold and silver will be in a much better position when this happens. Physical gold is decentralized, and the only way for them to centralize it is to print far more ETFs than there is physical gold and use this mechanism to suppress the price of all gold. Now the real trick of gold is a store of wealth, especially in a negative interest rate system. If you have $2,000 worth of gold, in 12 months, you will still have that physical amount, but I do not see it being $1,800, do you? Once upon a time, you paid 10% interest on the debt but got an 8% return on savings, and that kept up with inflation better. For a whole decade, you have had %2 interest on the debt and 0% on savings, but inflation is vastly greater than 0%. So put $2,000 in a bank or even hold it as cash with the inflation of what you would consume goes up. That $2,000 will buy you less in 12 months, and every subsequent year the same will happen to it. So that in the end over 10 years it is worth far less than what it was a decade ago. You are looking at losing $200 a year in fiat cash. Your savings in a bank got screwed under the current economic policy, and nobody wants to admit it. People need to get woke on what the fiat banking system actually is. We were only sold the concept of putting your money in a bank, and it would grow with interest, but when the central bank flipped to zero interest rate and negative interest rate, that whole concept becomes fraudulent. Inflation outstrips savings. So in years, your purchasing power falls, and if anything, you have to keep throwing 10% of your total savings more at it to actually keep the same purchasing power. That is negative interest rate NIRP. Interest rates, inflation, etc. are relative values, and the absolute change is the combination of them all. Every single time you put your hard-earned money into a bank, the bank takes your money, leverages it, puts it into the forex market, makes millions and billions of dollars on your money, then give you back less than 1% and charge you a fee for keeping your money in there. Guys, it's time to beat the banks at their own game and start learning how to have your money work for you. There are several reasons why gold was considered the best money. History confirms this. It's only in recent history that they have tried to discredit centuries of thinking about real money. It's kind of amazing they were able to pull it off. Our grandparents or great-grandparents understood that gold and silver were real money. Their grandkids are clueless. Key point. Gold can't be created out of thin air, unlike the banksters' fake fiat currency. Unfortunately, hardly anybody talks about the human cost of the decade-long precious metal market manipulation. Hundreds of millions of people or more rely on gold or silver as a saving. Their property has been stolen, looted, and denigrated, and the despair that comes with it goes unnoticed. The constant market manipulation, tolerated and encouraged by the most powerful administrations on this planet, is, to my mind, pure terrorism. They certainly terrorized me, and I know many others who could not sleep at night in fear of losing their savings. The mining sector has been decimated and, with it, the livelihood of its workers. This goes on day by day, just as we speak, and the satanic manipulators appear to enjoy the exercise of their power. We are paying our taxes to sustain these criminal structures. How long are we going to be abused? This was the Atlantis Report. Please like, share, leave me a comment, subscribe. And please take some time to subscribe to my backup channels. I do upload videos there too. You'll find the links in the description box. You will also find a PayPal link if you want to make a donation. Thank you wholeheartedly to all those of you who have already donated. Stay safe and healthy, friends.